On tonight's episode of Obscured Reality, join us as we dive to the depths of the Titanic and take an in-depth look at the Titan Submersible and see, was this thing safe? Was it not safe? If it wasn't safe, did the company know? Bring your PlayStation controller and come with us and find out. Sit down, sit back, and relax, and join us on our journey through Obscured Reality.
Welcome to another episode of Obscured Reality. Join your hosts, Mark and Stephanie, as they take you through a journey of the extraordinary, bizarre, and often frightening world of the unknown. Explore topics of the paranormal, UFOs, alien abduction, lost civilizations, mythical monsters, and other unexplained mysteries. Come along with us as we transcend into another dimension of obscured reality.
Welcome back to Obscured Reality. We are back, Mark and Stevie. How's it going, Stevie?
Pretty good.
Yep. Pretty good. Well, we're going to get you opened up, get you talking here. I think I got a topic tonight that's going to get you talking, but we'll see. We have to do it, and I will explain why. The Titan Submersible that went to go see the Titanic.
Oh my God, I'm so glad. So glad. Oof, I have my opinions.
So this one interests you, huh?
I have opinions, yes.
Okay, well, I want to explain why I want to do this real quick. Mm-hmm. Not because it's in the news, hey, we're going to get clicks, hopefully some subscribers, blah, blah, blah. It's not about that. This is obscured reality. Things that are obscure. Stories that are obscure. Originally, I was like, okay, they haven't found it. They're probably not. I'm hearing conspiracy theories already, so we'll do it because it's obscure. It's unknown, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, we know they've now found the wreckage. Yes. It imploded. So
not surprised.
It doesn't matter because I have to me, what is a very important question, which we'll bring up at the end of this. Once we're done just reviewing some things, the question I have is why we're covering or doing this one tonight. So I think you will probably agree with me on the question. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. Either way is fine. But we'll get to the question soon. And that will explain why we're actually doing this one tonight.
Okay.
But so
I'm intrigued about what this question is. I'm intrigued.
I think it's a very common sense question. But we'll get there. I think I'll give you a guess before we get to that point and see. Okay. So what do you think as this was happening in the news? You saw this submersible, some people calling it submarine, whatever, going down, went missing an hour and 45 minutes into their 3-hour tour. What was going through your mind all week when you're watching this up until they found the wreckage?
Immediately upon hearing it, I was like, they ain't gonna find it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And also, I already had an idea that it imploded just due to the depth of everything. Like, carbon fiber is strong, yes, but at the same time, like 12,000 feet under the sea is pretty intense when it comes to under like PSI.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so if we're gonna get into songs, you almost had me singing Gilligan's Island with the 3-hour tour comment. So
have you watched TikTok at all? Since the second this started,
do I watch TikTok? There's a bear shit in the woods.
I've never seen the bears shit in the woods.
Trust me, they shit in the woods.
The memes on this thing started immediately.
I know.
They took over TikTok. You couldn't scroll more than 2 videos without seeing and that guy that looks like Jim Carrey, maybe it was younger Jim Carrey, dancing, doing his little thing. And, they got the funny captions. Yes. I'm like, oh my God. Now, I'm into dark humor. Like I
Yeah.
can appreciate it.
I'm pretty
And
sure we're in the same dark humor meme page on
yeah,
Facebook.
probably. Oh yeah,
Mm.
on Facebook, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, comedy. Comedy's been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
Jokes are made about everything.
Yes.
Um and there's a lot a lot of what could be considered really mean ones out there, and
Oh
it's like,
yeah.
yeah, I get it. Like, hey, they're still missing at that point. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh well, have a heart and this and that. And whereas I do agree, I think where that heart comes down to is if you would actually say that in front of those people who are gone, in front of their families or their friends, rather than just telling a joke. For instance, we wouldn't hear half these memes
Mm-hmm.
if it weren't for the internet.
Yes.
What would happen though is you and I might be talking on the phone or in person,
Mm-hmm.
and the submersible might be missing, and I might have heard a funny joke that I thought was funny, and I know you're along the same page, so I might tell you, and we would both be okay with it. However,
Mm-hmm.
I would never say it to these people's families
No.
or their friends because I know it's rude and insensitive.
Yes.
The only reason I'm mentioning that is because this shit's all over TikTok right now, and just want to say to those families, if they ever come across any of our shows, just avoid social media
Mm-hmm.
and scroll past those things. Don't even get tempted to read them.
Mm-hmm.
It's all it is.
Just give it a week before something else takes over whatever's
Right.
trending. Give it a week. Just get off social
Yeah.
media for a week.
It's like you're not going to go see a comedian that you may like, but you don't like half of their jokes. Maybe they do a lot of racial jokes against white people or
Mhm.
black people or Hispanic
Mhm.
people, and you don't like that. Well, you don't go see them. And it's the same shit we see on social media all the time where people are posting some comments that some people see as rude, others
Mhm.
are in agreement with, and others are like, if you don't fucking like it, just keep scrolling.
Right?
Right.
Concepts.
So,
yeah.
we always hear in this type of world, YouTube, videos, social media, you got to avoid the negativity, avoid the trolls, don't be part of that.
Mhm.
And it's completely true. Just
Mhm.
ignore it,
Yeah.
keep scrolling. But I got to say, I don't know how many of these videos on TikTok I've seen now. Jesus Christ, there is some really good ones out there. I'm not going to repeat them on here, but there's some good ones.
I have seen
Really
some
good
memes on Facebook. So like my TikTok and my Facebook are two very different things. Like my TikTok is not any type of mainstream anything. It's a lot of foraging and like saving the bees and
Right.
shit like that. But my Facebook, yes, like every other post is a meme about it because mainly my group of friends on Facebook is the people from that particular meme group that we're a part of.
Right.
So it's pretty dark, but
Yeah.
man, I guess maybe I should change the algorithm on TikTok so I can see more of these because I'm now very interested in some of them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't go and follow people on TikTok. Like, it just hasn't been a thing for me. And these videos are everywhere. Whereas Facebook, it's just friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a personal page and that's it. So I don't see a lot of that.
Yeah.
But the shit on TikTok, man, wow, out of fucking control.
My Facebook is a shit
It's
post
funny.
page.
Yeah, it's funny. You got to scroll through, man. It's great. Well,
I think I will after this. I think I'm gonna just
would.
be like,
I
actually,
would.
hold on.
No, don't do it right now.
No.
No.
Hang on. This is how you trigger the algorithm. Hey, TikTok, show me submarine videos, and that's all you have to do. And also, show me fuzzy socks. Bet you anything, I'm gonna have fuzzy socks ads.
You don't even have to pull it up to your face. You could put it in the other room if it can hear your whisper.
I just like doing this because it's like very direct.
Theory.
Like, hey, Facebook, listen.
Whole nother conspiracy theory. Well,
I mean, you literally give it permissions to listen to you. So, I mean, that's not a conspiracy. You literally do that, but you just don't read the allow when you're setting up apps.
Right.
And that's coming from someone who works in the cell phone world. Anyways.
We're not going to rehash the entire story. Everybody knows the story of the Ocean Gate Company's submersible that went down called the Titan.
Mm-hmm.
They provide these trips down to see the Titanic. We'll review it really quick, but I want to go into some details. And so obviously it was about 5-6 days ago. They departed, an hour and 45 minutes down. they went silent. The ship lost contact with them. They've been missing since. Blah blah blah. Tons of ships, airplanes, and all this
International
stuff
efforts.
searching for him.
Yep.
Yeah, sonar buoys, all this stuff. And
Mhm.
finally, they've found the wreckage. They now know that it imploded.
About 1,600 feet off the bow.
Yeah, nothing's good out of that. But
No.
if death is the only option, then the good side to that, the upside to that, is that they imploded rather than got stuck on something and weren't found and ran out of oxygen
And
and
slowly,
starved,
yeah.
dehydrated, and couldn't fucking breathe.
Mhm.
So the
Asphyxiated, yeah.
alternatives are horrible
Yes.
when you're talking about the death only option. So fortunately, if they had to die, fortunately it was implosion, because that was pretty much
Yes.
instantaneous.
Yeah.
And sad, but is what it is. So that's what happened, right? You guys know the story. Go look someone else up if you need to get a full rehash on that. But I want to go into some details. Okay, this will all be important. The Titan, that's the submersible that went down, is 22 feet long. Okay, 9.2 feet wide, 9 feet wide, 8.3 feet high. So we'll get there. It was made from a carbon fiber cylinder. It weighed 23,000 pounds and could carry up to just over 1,500 pounds. It was designed to go as deep as 4,000 meters. My mind does not think in meters. That would be 13,123 feet. The Titanic wreckage sits at 3,800 meters, so just under that 1,300 feet mark. What's a mile? A mile is about 5,500 feet approximately, so it's like 2 miles deep, right? Ish. They had about 96 hours of oxygen reserves. So reserves, that tells me once whatever they were using as their main oxygen, once that's done, they have 96 hours left from that point.
That's why that's how I understand that as well.
The Titan has only a single button, an on-off button, as we've all seen in the pictures and videos of this guy, Stockton Rush, the CEO, the owner of the company, whatever the hell he is.
CEO.
Yeah, in one of his videos, talking and all ecstatic about his submersible and how cool and simple it was, and
famous
he's
last
just
words.
fully advertising, and it's powered by a single button. And he pushes it, and the monitors inside go on. I'm like, I wouldn't brag. I mean, I'm not saying he was bragging, but it kind of comes off.
Freaking $30 Logitech controller.
We're getting there. We're getting there. So it had a single button to turn this thing on and off, and that was pretty much it. The Titan has meme. The Titan had real-time hull health monitoring systems, or RTM, which OceanGate says analyzes, this is a quote, the effects of changing pressure on the vessel as the submersible dives deeper to accurately assess the integrity of the structure. Okay.
Fail.
Hold up. The, quote, onboard health analysis monitoring system provides early warning detection for the pilot with enough time to arrest the descent and safely return to the surface. I don't know why I'm laughing. Probably because
it didn't.
We'll keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It's not like if they did have time, it's not like if the system did alert them that something was going catastrophic. Number one, I question if it would even matter. Number two, it's not like you can say, oh, stop the descent, let's ascend. It's not like they just go, boom, shoot straight up to the top.
Yeah, because you get the bends if you do that. You have to depressurize the cabin.
They're going...
Yeah, or pressurize.
Well, I mean, it
Either way.
is. They're
Yeah.
stuck in there, right?
Yeah. Either way, you have to the pressure. You have to like fix that because
Yeah.
if you come up too fast, you'll get the bends.
Well, that's if you're diving, right? You're
Same.
breathing oxygen. I mean, isn't this thing pressurized?
Yeah, but you have to like change the
Right.
pressure within inside to match the pressure outside, so that one, it doesn't implode
Right.
in
Right.
itself,
Gotcha.
and also so you don't like fuck yourself up on the inside.
Yeah. So about the amount of time it takes them to get down to wherever they're at, it's going to take about that to get up. So
Yeah.
even if it came up with some catastrophic failure, like you need to stop here, it's going to take them forever to get back up. So when it comes to a disaster, one of the only things you can do in the vessel, he says, is rise to the surface as quickly as possible. Titan had 7 different ways to do that, including releasing sandbags and releasing heavy construction pipes, inflating an air bladder and releasing the legs of the sub to lose weight. And some of these methods do not require electricity, which is good. And some of them do not require the hydraulic system. So that's good in case they lose power. Now, one of the things I had heard, and I mentioned this for a reason, we'll get into that with my question, is one of these ways of reducing weight if they need to get up to the surface quick is to release some of the ballast. Some of this ballast wasn't, I mean, I haven't seen pictures. I don't know what this particular piece looks like, but they sit on the outside somewhere. And the way they release these 2 particular pieces of ballast is all 5 people inside the submersible get to one side of the submersible to kind of rock it, and the thing kind of just slides off, and then they go and do it to the other side and it slides off. We'll get there. This all plays a role. That's probably the heavy construction pipe ballast is my guess, but I don't know. Ocean Gate Expeditions began offering trips to the Titanic wreckage in 2021 and had only made 2 previous trips before the June 18th dive. So we're going to get into some more detail about the company, Rush, just things that have been said, stated, claimed by the company. Public statements made by Rush in court records show that even as the company touted a commitment to safety measures, it rejected industry standards that would have imposed greater scrutiny on its operations and vessels. The company has also boasted of collaborations with reputable institutions that have since denied partnering with OceanGate on the submersible in question. We'll get into those in just a second here. One of those is University of Washington. They said this and that and blah blah blah. The stuff with UW, and UW is like not quite how it worked. So this was a company that was already defying much of what we already know about submersible design. This is a quote from someone named Rachel Lance. She's a Duke University biomedical engineer who has studied physiological requirements of survival underwater. She noted that some of the vessel's design materials were already large red flags to people who have worked in this field. At some point, safety just is pure waste. Stockton Rush had said. I mean, if you just want to be safe, don't get out of bed. Don't get in your car. Don't do anything. That's a quote from him. This is the guy who was driving the submersible, the CEO. That's a quote from him. Obviously, prior to this incident.
Right. This man probably is like given the finger to OSHA his entire life. He sounds like he'd be the type of person who would give the finger to OSHA and just be like, don't tell anyone.
That's the way it's sounding. So there's a guy named Lockridge. I don't know if you heard of him. He came out while this was missing. He had been a former employee possibly contracted. I'm not 100%. Doesn't matter. He worked for him,
Hmm.
for Ocean Gate, and he got fired a couple years ago.
Probably
He,
for being too safe. Sorry.
well, what I had read was when they got the hull back, once it was completely built and they received the shipment, he was one of the ones working on it, inspecting it, doing whatever it was he was doing. I don't know exactly. He supposedly came across some documents that he believes he should not have seen. They probably weren't meant for him. The hull, he said they were expecting a 7-inch hull, 7 inches thick. He said the one they got back was 5 inches. He brought that up to them, and it wasn't much later he was terminated. So the company, OceanGate, later tried to sue him for, releasing some of their company info, their secrets or whatever, and I don't know in what fashion that happened. He sued them back for false termination, wrongful termination. It looks like, I don't know, trying to sue him might have been a bad idea, because if he's got that type of information and you're talking about a hull that's 5 inches thick and it was supposed to be 7,
Right.
whether it's safe or not, that still doesn't look good for you, unless you come out with some type of statement saying, "Oh, this is why."
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. We did testing and blah 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 blah.
Correct.
Not the case. So Lockridge, this guy that came out, he also questioned OceanGate's plans to install a monitoring system on the vessel to detect the start of hull breakdown. His court filing argued this type of acoustic analysis would only show when a component is about to fail, often milliseconds before an implosion, and would not detect any existing flaws prior to putting pressure on the hull. This is why I say the system might be pointless, because if this system gets to a point where it's reading something, you're gone before you even look at the goddamn monitor. So it's, from what he's claiming there, it sounds pointless to have any of that monitoring on board. It's a waste of weight, right?
Yeah.
Another person this is the person we mentioned earlier. What was her name?
Rachel.
You don't remember?
Lance.
Yeah, Rachel Lance. She said the unconventional combinations of materials used in the Titan posed safety risks because, quote, over the course of repeated pressurizations, they tend to weaken. Okay. Quote, this is not exactly what, in my opinion, would be innovation, because this is already a thing that has been tried and it simply didn't work, she said. Mr. Rush.
Dang.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Dang.
Come on. OceanGate's website touted a partnership with Boeing, stating that its Titan was, this is a quote, designed and engineered by OceanGate Inc. in collaboration with experts from Boeing and other entities. Similarly, OceanGate claimed in a 2021 court filing that the Titan was built with the help of the University of Washington's Applied Physics Laboratory. Okay. Both Boeing and the University of Washington, or UW, denied partnering with OceanGate in the development of the Titan. OceanGate had partnered with UW to create a different submersible before parting ways, the university said in a statement. The company also used testing tanks at the UW School of Oceanography for 9 tests between 2016 and 2022, according to Victor Balta. He's the spokesperson for UW. The tanks were used on a contract basis, and no university researchers were involved in those tests, and UW personnel did not provide any verification or validation of any OceanGate equipment as a result of those tests. He once acknowledged, this is Stockton Rush, he once acknowledged to a YouTuber that he had, quote, broken some rules, end quote. to build the Titan.
You think?
Lastly, the legal waivers these people sign to board this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Legal waivers, OceanGate asked customers to sign before voyages. The company reportedly warned that its newest submersible had, this is a quote, not been approved or certified by any regulatory body, and that a dive, quote, could result in physical injury, disability, emotional trauma, or death. That's on the waiver. Now
Can't
we'll
sue
get
us if you
in.
die.
Now we're going to get into some stuff. Nope, but
Nope.
your family can. Because I bet you they didn't sign that damn waiver. Mm-hmm.
I'm very curious to see the wording on that particular section, because if it's the estate or family or caretaker of, then no one can. But if it's just said person on said contract, then family's open.
Yeah. Well, let's
Mhm.
let's take a look at a couple pictures real quick.
Yeah.
Man, I know what the damn thing looks like. This is going to be a small
It is an
picture.
oversized septic tank.
Well, no, it would have been if they had gotten stuck and not imploded.
Facts.
Yeah.
It
There's-
was an
there's the
oversized
submersible.
septic tank. How about that? It
Yeah.
was. Yeah, look at
there's
that.
the submersible. I mean, that picture doesn't.
Yeah.
Whatever. It looks cool. You know.
It
Yeah,
looks like
you
every
look at
other
that,
submersible that you've seen,
Yeah,
like
you look at-
physically, like it's designed off of ones that I've seen like real
Yeah.
scientists use.
You look at that and you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. You don't think twice about that. I
Mhm.
mean, that's just the outside look. This, as most of you've probably seen, is a photo of the inside of the Titan.
So luxurious, so worth the $2,500 or
Yeah.
$250,000. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'll point out Mr. Rush at least put in a flat flooring for them so they weren't sitting on the rounded tank, and some cushioning apparently, so that's good. And I'll point out there's those monitors down there.
Mhm.
Those were for each of the people that were on board. So my guess is there's like 4 of them. Stockton's probably using his own because he's driving the thing, if you
Mhm.
can even call it driving. More of like a controlled float. And those monitors are so they have something to look at, you know, during their
Yeah.
ridiculously long, dark journey for
Considering
nothing.
they only had like one window in that thing in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this inside is 9x8, and I'm talking about height and width. Forget the length, 22 feet, I think it was. 9x8 width. They're sitting side by side almost. If they want to stretch their legs out, they all have to kind of angle. Like,
Mhm.
you have to be, you can't even like lay down straight in this thing. You're going to be in there for so long. The trip was supposed to take between like 8 to 10 hours. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing that photo here. 8 to 10 hours. So they claim it was supposed to be about 2.5 hours to get down. That means, and I haven't heard this about the return trip up,
Mhm.
but from everything I was kind of seeing, it sounds like it'd be about the same time frame. So you're talking about just to
Yeah.
get down there and get back up 5 hours, and then you're talking between 2 to 3, maybe 4 hours down there, because you have to find the fucking Titanic first,
Yeah.
which it's pitch fucking black, and we know light barely penetrates water. It doesn't matter how bright it is.
Exactly.
So they got to find the fucker 1st, and then
At
go
least
look
it's
around.
clear water down there.
Yeah, and then they go look around.
Mhm.
You know, that's great. That's just fucking amazing. Yeah, I say that's amazing, but I honestly don't really believe it, and I'll show you why. Back to that first picture here. There's one window on this fucking thing. It's right there in the front. That
Yep,
little
that little
nipple
porthole.
sticking off.
Yep.
It's a fucking tiny porthole.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's where, oh, yeah, let's talk about the bathroom on board this thing.
What bathroom?
It's like a
the
goddamn
freaking
camping
bottle.
porta potty.
Yeah, the
It's like a
bottle that you
camping
need to
porta
pee
potty.
in.
Yeah, and he said that
Gross.
sits right there where that porthole is. So if someone does have to use the restroom, they go sit on that, and they have a good view outside, and they have a little curtain they can pull, you know, to give them some privacy. And he said they jack up the music. That way the person can fart and shit all they want and nobody hears it. That's what he had said. Not in those words.
Why would it be in the front by the
I
porthole?
don't know. This whole thing doesn't make sense as far as how that thing was designed. The porthole apparently is either may not be the back of the may not be the front of this thing. You noticed in the other picture. Let me pull the second picture back up. The way I'm seeing this from what I've been hearing is that right here, there we go. What you're seeing at the end there, that's like a monitor, TV monitor, whatever, um, that that he has mounted in there. I
To,
would
like,
assume that's the
show?
back. I don't know. I mean, they obviously have cameras on the outside. That's why they have those monitors in there, those 4 smaller ones. So they have, they can see what the cameras are seeing. That big monitor, I take that as that's the back of this thing, and the porthole would be the front. But from everything I've been hearing and reading, it appears that might be the front, but I don't know. It doesn't even really matter. Maybe he just sits back there because all he's doing is driving it. You can't see out the fucking porthole anyways. So why not give your $250,000 a person customers the better seats, which is closer to the porthole?
That's a
Right.
shitter review for sure.
Yeah. So one of the things that was said is they are asked for, I think, 1 to maybe 2 days prior to entering this vessel to limit their diet, limit their intake. And when they're on board, they're asked to highly limit their food intake, food and water intake. Why? Because they don't have a working bathroom.
Of that too.
No, the weight, it's already on you. If it's in your stomach, it's already in you, right?
Well, I mean,
The
like,
bathroom, they don't have one.
yeah. I'm
heard
assuming,
they're-
like, so that you don't, like, gain, like, 10 pounds and, like, throw off whatever math
No.
or lack of math that they've tried to figure out for buoyancy.
Yeah, I heard it mentioned that they're kind of using a Ziploc bag for a restroom. If that's true, then my guess off of what I saw was that they were using this, like, stupid, cheap, like, camping porta potty style thing. And maybe somehow have some type of Ziploc
one you're
attached
talking
to
about.
that. Well, I don't know that
I
it's
know
even a camping one.
Oh,
I had just seen
no. I know
one of his
exactly what type
videos.
of. There is a camping toilet that's like a chair that you, like, there's a hole and you would stick a bag in that hole so that, like, all of your business just falls into the bag. And it's definitely a thing.
Probably.
It's, if that's what they had.
I wouldn't.
Oh, man.
Well, it was not a real bathroom. What I saw, it was just like a porta potty. That's all it was.
Yeah, that's worse than the type of things that you find at state parks, and it's just a hole in the ground.
I'd rather shit behind a rock camping in front of 20 people than on this thing. No joke. I'm sorry, but
No,
I mean, what do you do?
I totally agree. Well, I mean, you hold that until you explode. I would hold it till I was prairie dogging. Like, I am not about to poop in front of these. Well, not in front, but around all these other people.
Well, it's just that you're in such a confined space with 4 other people, and
I would
they
hold
jack
it.
up
If
the
I could
volume.
hold it,
That's
I would
cool.
hold it. Jack up the
jack up.
Well, you know, like, you can
that's
jack
fine.
up the volume all you want, but you cannot cover that smell.
That's fine. But what if you lay a big old healthy log? That stench, man. Oh, you gotta smell people's poop in there. So those are a lot of the details, and
that's where I draw my line.
That's those details are important because now we're gonna get to my question. What's up? I'll give you a chance before I give my question out.
You don't have to pay $250,000 just to have someone shit next to you. You can just go down to Skid Row and they'll do it for free.
You need to look at the TikTok memes.
I can't wait to get off here and go look at those. TikTok, you hear that?
Yeah. Well, okay. So I have a question. I think it's important, and this is why I wanted to do it on a show because it is obscure. You'll see why, maybe. What do you think the question is after everything I just read, went over the details about the sub, the details about the CEO, and quotes, things he's said, things other people have said? What could you possibly think my question might be? Yeah, any clue? This is
Yes,
to
but
verify the legitimacy of my question.
do you feel
You
bad
do?
about what
What do you think
happened?
it is? Oh,
The
fuck
question I
no.
think is do you,
No, no,
no,
no,
I was
no.
because I would
Nope.
say that's a
Nope.
resounding no.
Not even
Like,
close. Uh,
no, that's
a
just five
resounding
less
no.
billionaires in
Why?
this world. Like, it's just five
Oh,
less
you're one
billionaires
of
in this world.
them. You're one of them. Okay.
In all
Okay,
honesty, like
guys.
I
Hey,
feel bad that one of them was a kid, but at the same time, like the amount of trust that rich people have in anything, honestly, for that matter, is ridiculous. Now,
okay.
is this something that I would ever be like, oh, I'm so worried that this would ever happen to somebody I love? Fuck no, it's not. So it's just one of those things where
Right.
I'm like, I don't feel bad about
Well,
it because you paid $250,000 to put yourself in a fucking oversized shit tank to go to the bottom of the ocean, knowing damn well that you're probably gonna die. So
okay. You're
yeah.
getting close. But first, I'm going to say we don't go over anything we're going to do on the show
Mm-mm.
prior to the fucking show, guys.
No.
Just so you know. So clearly, I'm about to say something. I'm not getting to the question
Mm.
yet. That's
Oh.
clearly not in line with what Stevie just said. So no offense, but a lot of the joking and the memes that you see out there right now sounds like basically overly jealous people jealous that they don't have that kind of money, because ultimately the money doesn't fucking matter. They're still
Mm-mm.
people, and just because they're a billionaire doesn't mean they got there in an illegal manner,
Oh, I'm not saying that.
right? So I did see one video. It was from some lady who I don't remember her name or any of that detail, but
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
she has worked on subs, submersibles, those types of things. She has some degrees, all that. She put into perspective what $250,000 was to these people compared to us. And here's how she did it. And this is something she had heard elsewhere as well. She compared it to the price of a $5 sandwich for someone that makes $80,000 annually. We know these people paid $250,000 to go on this, and we know most of them are billionaires. So, what she did is she broke down the $5 sandwich over $80,000 a year income. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, what that $5 sandwich really cost in comparison to the 80 grand, and it was pennies on the dollar. She then did the same thing with the $250,000 to a billionaire, and she used the $1 billion number. She didn't go higher.
Mm.
She went as low as
Yeah.
possible. 1 billion. You're
Mm.
called a billionaire? Well, you got at least $1 billion, right?
Right,
It
right,
came
right,
out
right.
to almost the same thing. It was pennies on the dollar to them. So the 250 to them would be like you or I paying, say, maybe $50 to go parasailing for 30 minutes on a boat out off the coast in Southern California, right? Like, not a big deal. You'll
That's a
do it
little
once, and for
different.
them, the
Yeah.
250, well, I'm not talking about the experience. I'm just talking about the money. Of course, it's different.
Mhm. Yeah.
Of course, you might get eaten by a shark on that one when they dip your feet in the water, but
The
it's the same kind of thing. So it kind of throws out the
yeah.
money thing for me. And uh, I did see one picture, and this was a
Mm.
picture of the guy that was on there with his son. And the story behind them was the son wanted to do something nice for his dad for Father's Day, obviously, probably with his father's money, but this kid was 19. This kid was terrified of doing this,
Yeah.
but
He is the
he
only
wanted to
one I
go.
feel bad about. He's the only
Well,
one.
I saw a picture of both of them. We
Mhm.
profile people as humans, guys, admit it. We all profile. It's what helps keep you safe and knowledgeable about your surroundings. We profile
Mm.
people. I can usually tell looking at someone if they might be a good person or might not be. might be a little less, a little more than not a good person. Who knows? And there are times you can't tell. But I saw a picture of both of them standing there after I heard, read that story, and I'm looking at. I didn't even really pay attention to the kid. I was looking at the dad. I'm like, okay, if that story's true, the kid obviously cares about his dad. Well, that kind of goes against what we hear about people who are billionaires, right? We hear about them hiring people to raise their fucking kids. They have no relationship with their kids, all that bullshit. So I'm like, oh, well, this kid might actually be kind of close to his dad. And I saw a picture of them together, and I'm just focused on the dad, this billionaire. He looked like a genuinely nice fucking person. He doesn't look like the type that's out there to screw people. So I don't, you can't really put money into play on it and say, well, I don't really fucking care it happened.
Matter.
And I'm not saying you,
Yeah.
rhetorical. I'm not saying you, but, there's a bunch of billionaires, fuck them, blah, blah, blah. Well, but you don't know them as a person. And if they're a complete shitbag, sure, I wouldn't say I necessarily disagree with you, but you don't know, and
But
we don't know the
then
reasons
again,
for going on it.
just because they're a good person or to their children, or they look like they're a good person in a picture, doesn't mean that they have good business practices or treat their employees fairly, or so I mean there's a lot of different levels why people don't like billionaires, but money aside,
but it doesn't mean they are doing that. It's the same
but
argument.
money aside,
right.
I still have the same thoughts that you knew that this was a very real possibility, and you still decided to do that. Was it worth your $50 sandwich? I don't know.
Well, you're getting into my question. My question is, who the fuck would go on this goddamn piece of shit?
That comes
after looking at all the fucking details. This is what I want answers to, because now we know what happened. This whole thing with the Titan being disappeared for a while, that's no longer obscure. We know what the fuck happened. What's obscure to me is why anybody in their right fucking mind would want to get on this, and I'll explain.
I mean, honestly, if it really is a $50 sandwich in comparison, money wise,
no,
you're paying $50
sandwich.
$5. Okay, so they're paying a
it's
$5 foot long
on the dollar
to go to the bottom of the ocean. I'm sorry, but if I was going to go to the bottom of the ocean in a tin can for $5, I'd be a little sketch. Anything else aside about the actual construction or lack of construction aside, you're paying essentially $5 to go to the bottom of an ocean. You get what you pay for, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know.
$5 foot long.
50 grand's 250,000's a lot to you and me, but it's not to them. That doesn't mean that.
So that's what I'm saying.
Wasn't worth it,
I don't know, but you get what you pay for. It's a thing. The saying is a thing for a reason. You get what you pay for. If that is essentially just chump change to them, that should be the first red flag.
You're comparing two different things. You're saying, well, you get what you pay for, and you're simply equating what it is they did to $5. But that's completely untrue. Those two things are completely unrelated. If that's what it was worth
in
to
retrospect,
go on
money wise, I don't know. I'm just saying, if that's just chump change to them, if $250,000 isn't a lot of money to somebody, that should be the first red flag. It should
cost,
the red flag it costs so much more than that to go to freaking space. So why wouldn't it cost a lot of money to go to the bottom of the ocean?
The red flag to me would be if this company was charging $100 to do this, and then knowing the details about the Titan. That's where that would come into play. But $250,000, that sounds about right. Well, recoup their money, but they need to make some money to be able to do anything. So that's how it goes. But I think your comparison a lot more. Yeah, I don't agree with that comparison. I think you're comparing two completely different things, have nothing to do with each other.
That's fair.
People are just jealous because they can't afford to go on something like that. And I'm not saying they would go on it, but there is a lot of jealousy out there, unfortunately. But my point is, you can say one thing because they're billionaires, whereas someone else can say something on the opposite end, even
Mm.
though they are billionaires. You
Mhm.
can't prove it either way.
Yeah.
The point is, take the money out of it. This could be a billionaire. This could be a millionaire. This could be a thousandaire or a hundredaire like us, maybe. And that goes to my question. Why the fuck would anyone get on this? So now we know the details of this Titan. So here's
Mhm.
my scenario. I put myself in the shoes of, hey, what if I had the chance to go on this? What if I had just $1 billion? Fine. Let's say I had just 900 million. I'm not a billionaire.
Mhm.
250 grand is still nothing to me, right? But
Right.
that's really what it costs to go on this. And keep in mind, these billionaires, they didn't get rich by being fucking idiots. So they
No.
probably, at least one of them probably pinches pennies as well. A
Mhm.
lot of people that are that wealthy, there's a lot of things that they could be doing that they don't purchase just because they have the money.
Mhm.
They have their money for a reason. Not to say they don't have not to say they're not extravagant on their spending. They probably are, but
Mhm.
it's just different. So we know the details of this thing. If I were in the position and I at least had the money to go, let's just say I had $500,000 and I didn't need
Mhm.
it all, and I had the opportunity to go on this 250 grand. Let's say this guy cut the cost down for me, which he actually, one of these people that almost got on the sub, who it was offered to back in February, the guy said he turned it down because he had his own safety concerns. Later, Stockton Rush came back to him, lowered the price. He said 150 grand, and the guy still turned it down because he talked to a friend who has some knowledge on that type of stuff, and he's like,
Mhm.
"This thing's not fucking safe." So let's say I had 500 grand, and Stockton Rush asked me to go on this. And I'd be like, "Yeah, but 250 grand is half of what I have. Like, I'm not trying to talk you
Right.
down, but I can't go." Like,
Mhm.
$100,000, fine. I'd be like, okay, well, I'll think about it. Okay, cool. Now, I don't live where this submersible is. I think this
Mhm.
trip originated from New Zealand. I could be wrong, but if I recall, they departed from New Zealand to go out there. I might be wrong on that, but
I thought it was
it was
Newfoundland.
maybe,
Because New
maybe I might
Zealand,
have read it
yeah,
wrong.
it
I
has to
don't
be
know.
Newfoundland because New Zealand is on the opposite side of the world from where the Titanic actually
Yeah.
sank.
Okay,
So it
that's
has,
probably
I
what it
think it's
was. Newfoundland.
or
Yeah.
Newfoundland or
So I'm
however the
in
heck people want to say it.
whatever. So I'm in California, right? So I'm like, okay, well, obviously I can't see the submersible right now, but I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I'll pay my 10% deposit. And I know even if I don't go, that that's a loss. Not a big deal. I still have most of my money. Okay. So before the trip takes place, let's say it takes place in a month from now, I'm going to go on
Mhm.
OceanGate's website and look up all the details they have because I'm expecting they're going to be truthful
Mhm.
about things. And in the meantime, I get the waiver sent to me in the mail or email, whatever. And I
Mhm.
start reading this waiver,
Mhm.
which, from what I heard, it sounds like it's probably a pretty hefty waiver. However, one person did state the very first page of this waiver mentioned the word death 3 different times. And that's only on the first page of this thing.
What?
Yes. Now, I already read you some of the things that were in the waiver, and
Mhm.
they did admit that the thing wasn't regulated. It hadn't been inspected by, it's this submersible was
So
not
it
classified.
admitted in the waiver that it wasn't inspected by any like official agency. Like it said that in the waiver.
Yeah, let me find that the waiver. So these are quotes from the waiver. Company reportedly warned that its newest submersible had, this is quote, not been approved or certified by any regulatory body and could result in physical injury, disability, emotional trauma, or death.
Or
So they
death.
admit in it,
Mhm.
that it's not been approved or certified by any regulatory body because they went around that by what they were doing, materials they were using. Um,
Mhm.
this submersible was not classified, which technically it should be. If it's classified,
Mhm.
that means these people have come in and inspected it, looked at it, tested it, whatever, and they can now classify it
Yeah.
as a submarine or submersible or
Mhm.
whatever, ROV,
Mhm.
whatever they're going to classify it as.
Yeah.
None of that was done. They did admit that. So there is that. So I'm in my position. Stockton offers me the trip for 100,000. I'm waiting a month before I fly out to Newfoundland and hop on this ship. In the meantime, I get the waiver. I read the waiver. I see all the bullshit in the waiver.
Mhm.
It's basically hasn't been looked at by any regulatory body. All this stuff because I'm probably going to read certain parts of this waiver in detail.
Yeah.
And let's say I make it past the waiver and I sign it. I don't send it back. I go on their website, start reading about them. I expect what they're telling me on the website is going to be truthful because I have no way to verify any of it. So I'm hoping
Right.
it is, and this is super safe and blah, blah, blah. And I'm seeing videos of Stockton Rush and some other employees inside the submersible. Yeah, it only seats 5 people, blah, blah, blah. And it technically doesn't even seat 5 people because there's no fucking seats in this piece of shit. But we can take
It
5 people.
squats
That
5
includes
people.
me. Yeah, it includes the driver. Okay, fine. Yeah. So 5 people. And then you get through the video and you see him bragging about how simplistic they are that they even have this little shitty porta potty that you can probably buy for 20 fucking dollars. Oh, and if you do have to use the bathroom, this is what you use, but you got the best view in the house. This is what he had said. It's the best view in the house because we have it sitting where the porthole is, the one window, and we'll pull a curtain and all this. Okay, and I'd look at that and I'd be like, okay, well, fine, you're saving weight. I mean, you're gonna have to make this thing huge if you're gonna be installing real working bathrooms and all this bullshit, right? Okay, fine. And then you get to a really good view of the inside and you see them in there. It's just flat. You're leaning up against the rounded walls of this tank and you see there's just a monitor on the other side and each person has their own little monitor and and you see him bragging about the fact that this sub only has one button. It's powered by one button and he pushes it and a couple lights come on and the monitors come on. If you make it past all of that, let's say I do. The month goes by, I fly out to Newfoundland, I go to Ocean Gate. They're sitting there on the ocean. There's their ship, there's the sub sitting on the ship. Nice to meet you, Mr. Rush. At some point before they depart, you know they are going to check out the submersible. He's going to show them and this and that, blah, blah, blah. I get to the fucking submersible and they got the front or the tail end open, whatever the fuck is what on that thing. And they bring all 5 people in. Hey, come in, check it out. There's nothing to check out. You cut the top off a Coke can and look inside. Same fucking thing. And so you crawl your stupid ass in there with 4 other people, and you see right then and there how the seating positions are going to work. And then the other workers close the end of it. They don't seal it. They don't bolt it shut with the 17 bolts it had, but they just close it so you get a real feel for what it's going to be like in there. And that's when Mr. Stockton starts showing you how they control the sub with a fucking Logitech gaming controller.
Yeah.
This is the point where if I didn't have any fucking questions prior to anything else, I would ask number 1, what the hell does that one green button you have do exactly? It just turns everything on in here? How do you really control it from the outside? Right? This thing's got to be basically pressurized. We got to be able to sit in this thing. We got to be able to get down there. It has to be pressurized to be able to sink down there and all that.
Yep.
How do you actually power it from in here? Have you drilled holes? Like, I'm fine with your simplistic point of view, but something like this is very complicated. Yeah. Number 2, you're using a fucking controller. Is it wireless? Is it not wireless? I don't know. No. That's not a joke.
I'm sorry.
That's not a joke. Oh, you got to go see TikTok. I mean, those ones are dime a dozen. I'm not joking about that, but I'm asking because I don't know. I thought I saw in one of the videos when he was holding it, it was wired. Okay,
I
I'm
hope
saying
it's
that for a
wired because
reason.
if those batteries die halfway through the dive, you're screwed. Well, I mean,
I'm
they're
sure
already
they'd have
screwed, but you're
extra.
screwed.
Well,
They barely
I
have a
think it's
shitter. Who
wired.
knows?
Yeah, I think it's
We'll say that
wired
it was.
because I when I saw
Yeah.
him holding it in a video, it looked like there was a cable going from it. So I only asked that for a reason. Okay, you're using a gaming console controller to control this thing because it's simplistic. I don't necessarily disagree with that because ultimately that's what you're doing with two joysticks anyways. If you had two joysticks
Mm,
and like 10 buttons, it's the same fucking thing. I don't really care as long as it's reliable for what we're doing compared to the risk. It better be fucking reliable. If it's a low
mm,
risk, well, I don't care. If it's high risk, well, I care. So I see that he's
mm,
holding a Logitech controller, and I'm like, okay, maybe he'll give us all the chance to drive it. That's cool. I'd be a pro at this because, my thumbs work well on a gaming console fucking controller.
mm-hmm.
The second question I'd ask him, aside from this one fucking button, is what's your backup if that Logitech controller breaks? What if you. What if it just slips out of your hand? Yeah, well, I'll only be holding it like a foot, and we're sitting on this padded stuff, so it's just a bounce, right? Okay.
Yeah.
What if you're holding it a foot off your knee, which is hard, and it just hits in that one in a million spots, that one chance in a million spot of that controller where it just breaks something, it jars something, and boom, things dysfunctional. What's your backup plan? How do you control this thing if that happens? Do we all have to get to the side and rock the boat to knock off the fucking right side balance, and then all of us jump to the left side to knock off the left side ballast and hope we fucking float up in 2 hours? What's the
Mm,
backup when your shitty controller fails?
yes.
That's what I want to fucking know.
Mm,
That's the point where I draw the line, where I'm like, you you're going down to the bottom of the ocean in a tin fucking can, and we're not talking like just the bottom of the ocean, maybe a mile off a pier from any coastline. We're talking out in the middle of the
mm-hmm.
fucking ocean, 2 miles deep.
Yeah. Yeah. Like where
Um,
Titanic sank was like pretty far out there. I mean, it was close
yeah,
enough to it was past the halfway
I want to
point,
say it's like
obviously,
900
but
miles.
yeah, but
I think it's about
yeah,
900
it
miles off.
still was quite a distance. It's closer to Greenland than it was to like actually America, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's I mean, great they got the ship, but that's kind of where I start. If I made it through that whole process up until arriving at Ocean Gate's facilities and getting to view and sit inside this thing and see what's really going on with it, I'm going to start asking questions about the button, the
Yeah.
controller. Fine, you want to use that type of controller? I'm fine with that. But you need to
What's the
have
backup?
I need to
Yeah.
know you have redundancies in place because that shit could fail in 2 fucking seconds. Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
get the red ring of death on that fucker. Ding. you know, um, I'm serious. And then if he explains to you how
Oh
the
my
ballast
god.
systems work, if he explains to you that one of their
Mm.
7 or 9 ways of removing weight if they need to float up in an emergency
Is to rock back and
is,
forth in it.
yeah, look at these two ballasts on the outside. All we do is all 5 of us get to one side and kind of roll it a little bit, and that just falls off. And then we do the other side, and it just falls off. I'm going to draw a fucking line. I'm going to be like,
Yeah.
hold the fuck up.
Yeah.
You're telling me that you don't have automated systems in place to do this shit?
That's what I'm hearing.
Come on. What?
Yeah, that's
So you add, this goes back to what we've talked about with every UAP, Bigfoot, any stories we've fucking covered that are really out there. You know, coincidences. Okay, the guy's simplistic. Or, well, he appears to have the simplistic view. He claims he does, right? I'm fine
Yeah.
with that, dude. But when I start seeing that this goddamn submersible you built, And hearing you say you went into it with a simplistic mindset, and I'm looking at what you mean by simplistic on this thing that's going to take me 2 miles beneath the surface of the fucking water, now I question everything because I want to know how exactly simplistic did you go on this?
Simplistic doesn't
To me,
always mean safer or better. Like,
no. And we clearly hear from people who have an education and study these types of fields that the materials he was using, nope, they already know the shit doesn't work. And he's using it. He was touting about how one of the pieces, this is in one of his videos he did showing this thing off inside. He was touting how something on the inside, he's like, oh, and this is $30 from Camping World. I'm like, what?
yeah,
I'm sorry.
I do remember hearing
You
something
c-
about that where he would
Yeah.
use like over the counter products. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
gonna use that, don't fucking
Don't
tout
brag
that.
about it. No.
Don't be bragging about that shit. Don't
Mm-mm.
look. You're already hiding
Please, sir,
something.
do not tell
you
me.
know.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
back real quick to the thickness of the hull.
5 inches
when
instead of
this
7.
guy-
Yeah.
What size matters, guys? Size matters. In this case, it was just
shut
the
up!
motion of the ocean.
Oh my God. I hate you so much. That was literally what I was about to say. No, we're not related. Not at all.
No,
I was going to say, this is the one instance where the motion of the ocean actually mattered.
Yeah. Well, when this guy
Yeah.
came out about how he had been fired because he brought up a concern to management that, hey, we were
Yeah.
under the impression this hull was going to be 5 inches, not 7. What I had read was that thing was rated down to 1,300 psi. Do you know the psi down where the Titanic is? It's over 5,000
I was about
psi.
to ask you. Okay. Wow.
Now, I question the authenticity of that because they've gone down there 2 other times. And one time they might not have even made it. I think they actually had to come back up. They made it like just under 40 feet underwater. Red flag. But that's what I heard. So that's what is obscure now about this entire thing to me is how do you get through looking at their website and watching their videos? How do you get through the fucking waiver? How do you get through seeing the submersible in person on the inside with the thing closed, seeing a goddamn gaming console controller,
Yeah.
seeing a TV mounted to the wall, seeing one button to operate this thing? How do you get through all of that and say,
This
like,
is a
what's
great
going on in your
idea.
life that you're okay with that?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And I'm not knocking anyone for it. To me, it just doesn't make fucking sense.
No.
I don't
not at all.
care. I don't care if I was a recluse, a hermit, just no family, no kids, no one. I didn't want to be around people. Like, even then, I couldn't see myself getting past all of those barriers. I might make it to the end. And I'm just going to be like, I hate my life, but I don't fucking hate it that much. It doesn't make sense to me at all. None of it.
No. The kid
So,
had
I don't know what you
had
think
the
about
right
that, but-
feeling. I feel like that kid definitely
Oh!
had
Oh.
the Final Destination
Okay.
feeling going and ignored it.
Well, get this. I don't know if you heard about this. One of the other billionaires. Now, this does go to, I'm not going to say your point because this wasn't the point you were making, but kind of the idea that came about to me from what you were saying earlier about billionaires. Fucking cares and blah, 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 and them and their money. But don't be jealous, Stevie.
I'm not jealous.
To your point, one of the billionaires that was on there, his son, after they went missing, he tweeted. Now, this shows you the opposite relationship of the man and his son that were on board. Complete opposite relationship. He tweeted he had tickets he had previously bought to a Blink-182 concert, and he wasn't there.
I saw
but he was
that.
like, I'm still going because it's what my
Yeah.
father would want.
Would have wanted. Yeah.
And
Yep.
fine, go. Why the fuck are you tweeting about it in that manner, in that way, saying those words? Like, that just tells you right there what everyone already thinks and assumes of these types of people that
Mm-hmm.
have large amounts of money, that they're all like that, and they're not. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
that doesn't help. That doesn't help the cause, guys.
Mm-mm.
you know.
My friend who's actually a huge Blink 182 fan posted that on Facebook, and I was like, she would post that. But yeah, I have heard of that. But outside of that one post, I haven't seen mention of that like anywhere. Oddly enough.
I did a second time. It was a day or two later. I did a second
Mm.
time, but I didn't really care about it. I mean, it was like, well, who knows if it's even true? It looks like it is true now because I think second time I saw it was in a news article. But yeah, I don't know. So about my question, I want to get into
Mm-hmm.
something else, something that you had brought up earlier, I think. But regarding my question and my reasoning for wanting to do this one, because that's what I think is obscure, is why when you get past
Yeah.
all these barriers and red flags, um, like, how can you still decide to get on? I mean, what's your thoughts? I mean, I think you kind of made it clear,
Oh
like at
yeah.
the first detail, you were like, "Fuck that."
Mm-mm.
Enlighten me, enlighten me on the mind of
I
Stevie on this
wouldn't.
one.
There's no way. I mean, I guess because like Anthony and I were talking about it, and he had said that when you make that much money, you just inherently have a lot of trust in other people when it comes to technology because you just assume that they're on the same level as you. So like I kind of understand it, and I actually very much agree with that. But at the same time, yes, looking at they should have done the due diligence of like checking everything out. Like obviously, the kid had the Final Destination Sixth Sense going, and he should have listened to it. But yeah, I wouldn't do
Yeah,
it. I don't understand why. But again, like Anthony said, like when you make that much money, you just have like this trust in other people when it comes to like technology and people who you
but do
think are
you?
on the same level.
Is that not maybe just a blanket statement that covers them all? Because maybe you think a certain way about them. 'Cause they're not all like that.
Mm, I'm sure they're not all
There's
like that, but
people
I
that
mean, I'm
aren't
sure a
wealthy.
majority is. Mm,
There's people that are not wealthy that walk around ridiculously eccentric and overpowering and like they're
Jesus
kings of the
Christ, I know.
universe. There's billionaires
Yeah.
that walk around that you wouldn't even fucking know because they're walking around in
Oh,
flip flop
yeah.
shorts and a t-shirt,
I'm
and
not
they're
saying like
just
all of them,
like
but they're
you
like,
and me. No, I know,
yeah.
but
But I'm sure that
one of them
there's,
even turned this down
yeah. But
with
like,
a
I'm sure
discount.
there's a majority of them that has like this mentality. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's like an investment game almost. Like that's how people make money is through investments and trading with
Yeah,
other companies. So like
well, that
for
type of
them
risk
to
is different.
take. True, but it's
you're,
on the
you're
same level of like, you're dealing with the same type of what they, I guess, assumed was the same type of people. Like this,
right.
that's what he said, and I
See,
agree with it. Like,
the way I look at it with that kind of much with that kind of much money with that much money, and I could be completely wrong as well. I don't know, but I kind of view it as like I can take more risk because I have the money
mm-hmm,
type deal. And this looks like a risk, but a risk where you don't feel like you're at risk. Whereas there may be something else they could do that costs just as much, but appears to be possibly way more deadly than
mm-hmm,
this. And they're going to be like,
mm-hmm.
fuck that. But this,
Because
you can go through the whole thing with
yeah.
no feeling it. You're not jumping out of
Mm-hmm.
an airplane,
Yeah,
skydiving,
because you're not getting
parachuting,
that endorphin
wingsuit.
rush, or you're not like face to face with like
Right.
a obviously physical danger. I totally get that and agree
You
as
know,
well. Yeah,
that's
because
kind of how I see it. But
no, I agree with that as well completely. But
yeah,
would I personally do it? No. If would I do it if I had that much money? Probably not, just because I have a
Might look
very
into
deep
it.
fear. No, I have an intense fear of dark water.
Well, take that away. Take the claustrophobia away. I was saying
No,
if
not even
those things
claustrophobia.
didn't come into play.
Dark water.
No, I
Nope.
know, but I'm just saying if you take that stuff away, you have the money and you could be fine underwater. You could be fine in something that small. Like you still look at that and you're like,
Mm-mm.
well, it ain't about the money at this point. Like
Mm-mm.
this just doesn't look like a good idea, you know?
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Asphyxiation is not fun. Someone was questioning some type of system and whether or not the
There's a few
system was
people who
even
would
on
disagree with
board
you
this
about
thing.
that.
About what?
Asphyxiation is not fun. Sorry. There's no way I would do that. Like, I don't know. Like, again, deep fear of
I don't know
dark
how you could
water
make it
and
past.
claustrophobia.
Well,
Yeah.
that alone, yeah, of
Just
course.
just
I don't know how you
looking
can make it a
at the whole
past.
situation, I would be like, I'm hard pass, thanks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I can't imagine many people making it past all those red flags,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe some of them not even red flags, but just some of those pieces of knowledge that they knew or
Mm-hmm.
had a very easy ability to know
Mm-hmm.
how you make it through all that shit and even get to the final point of sitting in this thing on dry land, just checking it out with 4 other people inside, and then him, all the shit
I
he's
just don't
got in there, which
understand
is
how
nothing, and being
these
like,
people who are supposedly super intelligent, like, just ignored all that. Like, I don't understand.
yeah, it's
But
interesting. You brought
I mean,
something
I
up at
know
the
one of
beginning.
the
I forgot what it was. No, keep going.
I was saying, I know one of the guys on board was a historian, so like I totally get that, like, in a deep love and almost obsession for a particular topic would have somebody ignore like red flags or take a higher risk,
Right.
than normal. But at the same time, just like as a person, the knowledge of the pressure and the like high chance of like anything imploding down there like would just be enough to
Yeah.
turn me away, money or not. Like,
Yeah.
deep love of Titanic or not, just understanding that concept would be enough to drive me away. But again, they could have just
Yeah.
loved the Titanic so much that it like chose them, like it made them override common sense and go with the riskier option more willingly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the other shitty things, obviously, there's no way out of the submersible from the inside.
Mm-mm.
There's 17
Yeah, they
bolts
lock you in
tightening
from
that hatch
outside.
down.
Yeah.
So what if you go under and you get, say, 2 hours under? You're still 30, 40 minutes away from hitting the bottom.
Yeah.
So you're fucking deep. And let's say this massive current comes up and it's a rough current under there and kind of is moving you around, but it just pushes you and pushes you and pushes you. And let's say you have a problem on board, battery goes out, whatever, right? So now it's inoperable. So this thing had a timing system on it. After a period of time, it would automatically release some of the ballasts and that type of thing and start ascending. Let's say all that happened, but before you even got to the top, you were like 50, let's say 20 miles away from the ship. Let's say 50 miles away from the ship, and they don't have a fucking clue. Let's say you were down underwater and your main oxygen supply ran out. And let's say something went wrong, you couldn't get back up, and you get in there almost the 5 days. Let's say you're in there 4.5 days after your main oxygen runs out. Okay. You have 5 days of oxygen left. So you're on this auxiliary oxygen. 4.5 days into that, you got half a day left of oxygen. You pop up 50 miles away from the ship. They don't know you're there. It doesn't matter that you're sitting in open air.
Yeah.
You're still fucked unless they get you on board and get that fucking thing open.
Yeah.
Oh
my god! I never even thought of it like that. Holy shit!
Yeah. Yep. You could float on the surface for a year. You're going to remain in there for a year dead because you have no way of opening anything to get any oxygen.
Inside. I
Yep.
that thought didn't even cross my mind. That's terrible. Holy
That's one
shit.
of the
I would
things
hope
that's
that they
been
have
brought
like a
up by,
satellite beacon with them. Like those things
well,
aren't that
the
expensive.
the boat, when it does go under, it communicates through Elon Musk's Starlink satellites. Um,
Okay.
it can't really communicate underwater like we think. They
Mm.
can't just hop
Yeah,
on a
yeah.
radio and communicate to the ship.
Hmm.
But it has to do with sending out these particular messages, these signals or whatever. I didn't read too much in it, but basically that's how that shit works. But
Okay. But once they would hit the
you
surface, they'd
know,
be able to connect to Starlink and they'd be able to find them like easier, but
well,
still
no, they're
like the
supposed to be
idea
able
of
to. Starlink is kind of like, it sounds like the intermediary between when they're underwater communicating with the ship.
got you.
It's kind of weird. I didn't look too much
Hmm.
into it, but there's no like audible talking or video back and forth with the ship. It's not
Hmm.
like that. It's just sending out some type of signal and it's picking it up, whatever.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
you
Yeah.
brought something up at
Mm.
the beginning. I forgot what it was, but you said there was something you were going to mention. I'm like, well, hold it till the end. Do you recall that? I forgot what that was. There was something you were going to bring up.
I think you probably already touched on it because I was like, Elijah,
I
take
think we did.
controller. Yeah. So
No,
probably
I think it was
already
something else, but probably doesn't matter.
ADHD. I can't remember what I had
Yeah,
for breakfast.
is
So,
what it is. Yeah, I
sorry.
didn't have breakfast.
I
Yeah, well,
remembered the girl's name though. Hey.
there is no Titan submersible in my future. Not only because I don't have the money,
Mm-mm.
but I have common sense, and there is no more Titan
Yep.
submersible. So,
Yes.
Bing, uh,
Bing.
it's too bad for these families of the people. I mean, it sucks. Stay away from the social media, guys. No need to even look at it. Not you
Mm-hmm.
guys. You guys go check out the TikToks if you haven't already, which I'm sure you have. Holy shit, there are some hilarious ones. And everyone's trying to say The Simpsons has once again, years ago, um,
Predicted this.
y- yeah. Well,
I heard
no, they
some kids at the
didn't.
gym say that.
Yeah. No, they didn't,
Simpsons did
because
it.
number one,
Mhm.
they never have claimed to make any predictions. Otherwise, they'd be, I'm predicting this to
Right.
happen. Number two, the scenario in the fucking Simpsons was completely different. Homer was in his own submersible. His own submersible looked way fucking safer than this Titan one. Number two. Number three, he was down there with a friend in a separate submersible. They were looking for sunken treasure. They found a fucking ship, looked like Titanic. It wasn't. It was like pirate ship. They found the treasures. They both took the
Mhm.
treasures. His friend took off. He didn't know where he went. Homer saw a glowing fish somewhere. He's like, that's probably my friend. So he zooms towards him. And in a panic, not paying attention to where he was going, like when you're driving a car, he crashed into
Mhm.
some like reef like structure that's round that was just smaller than his sub, and his sub got stuck in it because he wasn't watching where he was going. Completely fucking different. They didn't predict shit,
Yeah.
and they don't claim to. Just
Yeah, no,
saying.
there are
But
some things where they've
props
become
for them, I guess.
scarily close on, but yeah, no, I'm assuming that the kids were just like talking hearsay because like I was at the gym doing my own sets, whatever,
Yeah.
with my friend, and I was listening to them talk because my headphones had died, and so I was like, these kids, they're very loud as it is, so it's not like you can ignore them. So I was like, fuck it, I'll listen to them.
Yeah.
And the things that they were saying, I feel like they were just recanting whatever they heard on
It's regurg.
whatever it was, but I did hear the Simpsons
Yeah.
thing. I didn't know that it was not very accurate, but I do know that sometimes like there
Oh.
are a few things that the Simpsons were almost
Oh, I'm sure
scarily
there are.
pretty dead
Look,
on. So it's kind of
when you
what's
have a
going on here? Okay.
series when you have a series like The
Mhm.
Simpsons that's ridiculously popular, it's a
Mhm.
cult favorite. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it's been around for so long. When you have made as many episodes as they have made, for
You're
the type
bound
of
to do
show that
something.
they are experts in,
Mhm.
how many real world scenarios can they get in there? I mean, they've done so many fucking shows.
Mhm.
The chances of any one of the things happening in those shows happening in the future at some point
Yeah.
and being relatively close or even very close to what happened in the show, yeah, ridiculously possible. I
Oh
mean,
yeah. There's a few. I'll send them to you. There's a few, but I don't really want to touch on them because I'll just draw this out longer. But I'll send you a couple of them. But even South Park made fun of the fact that like if there's no episode that you can do. Ooh, you're gonna have to pause this. There is a massive spider.
Well, hurry
I'm
up
so
and get
sorry.
it.
I'm
Well,
about
we got the
to.
pause.
It's just. I just scared the shit out of my cat. I'm grossed out, and it's now on top of Anthony's shoe, and that's where it's gonna stay. Okay.
You ended saying, "There's only so much you can do." You ended with the word "do."
Okay.
You're talking about South Park
Before.
and how many episodes you can do. So big pause and then pick it up where you need to.
I am. Before there's like not anything else that you can like make a show about that hasn't already been done. So that yeah, so I get it. There was like I said, a South Park episode that like makes fun of the fact that Simpsons have literally covered everything. But like I said, I'll send you the ones that are like eerily a little too close for comfort, but because that'll just drag this out into something else. But yeah, for this sub, rich or not, I would have said no. Yep.
I'd go on a military sub, but you wouldn't catch me on the Titan, especially now.
Yep. You could. Yep. I would go on a submarine. I'd still be scared shitless, but I would go on a submarine. But you would probably catch my ass in space a lot sooner than underwater. Yeah.
Maybe. It depends on whose rocket it is.
True.
Yeah.
True.
But we won't go there.
I mean, it doesn't really matter because it's never going to happen, but I'd rather go to space than
never know.
Deep sea.
Could happen before we die.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, true. Mars colonization.
We've already done it, allegedly, conspiratorially.
Oh yeah. Actually, no. You said okay. I think I remember. Conspiracy theories. That's what you were talking about. I already saw a conspiracy theory roll through my Facebook saying that this is a distraction from something else, which I get. But then again, it's not. Yeah, but then again, it's not every day that a like.
I saw one today.
Man-made sub goes missing.
Yeah. Well, I saw one today. Well, there probably aren't a ton of them. I saw one today where someone said a similar thing, and they're like, "Oh, conspiracy! Or like this thing just goes missing. It happens to go missing with 5 billionaires on board, and this and that." I'm like, "Where's your common sense?" Of course, it's only billionaires on board or millionaires on board. It costs $250,000.
Yeah, because the average person is like, "Get me on there." I mean, people save for years just to get like Super Bowl tickets. Like, it's not the average Joe that's on this submarine. Yeah.
No, of course it's billionaires on there or the semi-equivalent because that's who can afford it at the price they charge. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd previously seen a conspiracy theory. I won't go into it because I don't remember it, but it was a few days ago while the thing was missing before they knew what happened. And I was just like, okay, now they found it. And it's like, oh, your little bullshit conspiracy theory's gone. And FYI, the Navy has some top secret underwater listening device.
I saw that, and they apparently knew of it imploding days before it was...
No,
that's what I heard.
All they did was pick up the sound. No one said they knew it fucking imploded the day it happened.
Right. They just heard the sound.
They just had a listening device that picked up the sound. No real details have come out about that yet, saying, "Oh, they actually knew." I'm sure if they knew, they would have fucking said something.
They've
to
already
Ocean
claimed
Gate.
that they knew, but it's a clickbait headline. But like that's what they say. Like, they knew it imploded. They didn't say anything, and it's like, I'm sure they probably caught the blip on their radar, but the radar isn't going to say, "Oh, this is what it was." Like, that's not how
they got the
work.
sound, and the sound was the sound was consistent with an implosion. That doesn't mean they knew that at the time. That doesn't mean anyone even looked at the, because at that time they weren't even missing. So they wouldn't have fucking known. It was just recorded on a device somewhere.
They wouldn't have known, and that's something that would have had to have been like looked into. Yeah, it's not like the radar the radar watcher was like,
stupid.
oh, something imploded. Like it's not like that's not how radar works. But yeah, no, it's been clickbait headlines, but people are like, oh, Navy knew, and it's like just trying to once again instill that fear factor of and like distrust into the military, which is already there, but they're definitely trying to propagate that.
Yeah. Well, that's it for Titan. No fucking pun intended, honestly. It's too bad people had to die.
On a humanity level, yes.
It's too bad this guy admittedly cut corners. Because now he's gone too, the CEO, and can't do what he loves anymore. So,
I mean, that's also karma for cutting corners and knowingly put people in danger like he did. That's absolute his karma.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be 100% honest and truthful about shit like that when you're making something like that.
You really
do. On board with their lives,
because if you're not the danger.
Yeah, because if you're the one running the show, and if you don't go down with them when that thing implodes,
Captain
your
goes down
ass
with his
is
ship.
Gone. You just went down to our income level.
Welcome to the suck, sir.
Right. If not prison. So I that's it, guys.
Probably prison,
yeah. Hey, who knows? It depends what they can prove. Hey, they admitted too much, and the Ocean Gate's already taken stuff off their site, particularly because this thing went missing. Like, oh, you pulled that shit down quick. Not surprised. Anyways, that's it for the Titan, guys. Too bad they died, but I guess it's better they died how they died than the alternatives
other
in
ways.
That scenario.
Yep.
So with that depressing thought and hilarious TikTok memes, we will catch you next time. Peace.
Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Doing your job.
Like,
for
share,
you.
subscribe. If you got a story of your own, email us obscured1@gmail.com. Type story in the subject line. An obscure story of your own. You've seen a UFO, UAP. You think you may have been abducted by aliens. You've been abducted. You've had something appear to be implanted in you that's been taken out. You don't know. Bigfoot, whatever. Email us.
Also hit that bell
and don't
subscribe to get all the notifications of every Friday at 5 Pacific.
5 p.m. Pacific.
Yes, I had to think about that. I was like, "What's the hour difference Eastern. Again?" And then also randomly, when we have shows like this, we will let them get out a little bit earlier, just because it's not worth waiting a whole week when things like this are breaking news. Also, I believe we now have a TikTok, an Instagram, a Facebook, and YouTube Shorts are also going up. Yeah, you do. Yeah, gotta update that bio a little bit. But we're on all social media platforms. We got some shorts going around now, so please go through those. Enjoy. It's pretty much moments of me being like West Coast Chanel for the show. So enjoy those.
But you sound bit smarter than her. I like her though. She seems cool. She seems down to earth. But,
she seems like she's the type of like person who has like an infectious laugh that if she starts laughing, you can't help but laugh with her just because her laugh is funny.
It is a very noticeable. It's like someone with a really distinct face, like Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar, you can sit in a news van anonymously as Dennis as a black silhouette. But it's a side profile of your face. Anybody who fucking knows you knows that's you. Anyone who's worked with you knows that's you. You can't change that face. You can change my face. My face is nothing. But his face is a very distinct face. Chanel, so is your laugh.
So yes, don't forget to like our shorts. And then again, subscribe on all of our platforms now, just not here on YouTube. So hope to see you guys on our other platforms interacting with us.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Yeah. Well, until next time, we'll catch you on the next dive.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to check back with us often for new episodes. Feel free to drop a comment, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Obscured Reality.